3 creepy true night shift gas station stories that will make you never work. Alone Again, Story 1. The woman who paid with a dead man's cardi was working the night shift at a small gas station on the edge of a highway in a quiet town. The station wasn't like the busy ones you see near cities. It was surrounded by empty fields, a few old houses, and miles of dark road where sometimes you wouldn't see another car for almost an hour. I started working there because the night shift paid extra. At first, I thought it would be easy. Most people came in for coffee, cigarettes, or snacks. The busiest time was usually between midnight and 2 a.m. when truck drivers stopped for fuel. The owner warned me about one thing before my first night. Don't stay outside too long after 3 a.m., he said. I laughed because I thought he was joking. Why? Wild animals? I asked. He looked at me seriously. No, just trust me. I didn't understand what he meant. For the first few weeks, nothing strange happened. The nights were boring. I would sit behind the counter, watch security cameras, clean shelves, and wait for morning. Then came a rainy night in November. The storm was heavy. Rain was hitting the glass windows so hard that it sounded like someone was throwing stones. Around 2:30 a.m., the lights outside started flickering. I was alone. The nearest house was almost half a mile away. I remember looking at the security monitor and seeing something strange. A woman was standing near pump number 4. She wasn't walking toward the store. She was just standing there, completely still. I grabbed the microphone. Ma'am, do you need help? No answer. I watched the camera. Again, the woman slowly turned her head toward the store. That's when I noticed something. She wasn't holding an umbrella. She wasn't wearing a jacket. She was standing in the freezing rain, but her clothes were completely dry. I felt uncomfortable, but I thought maybe she was drunk or confused. I walked outside. Are you okay? I asked. The woman looked at me. She looked around 40 years old. Pale face, dark hair, empty eyes. I need gas, she said. Her voice was quiet. Sure. Which pump? She pointed at pump number 4. I went inside and activated it. A few minutes later, she entered the store. She didn't make any sound while walking. No footsteps. Nothing. She came to the counter and placed a small card on the table. I'll pay. I looked at the card. It was an old bank card. The name printed on it was Daniel Carter. I froze for a second. I knew that name. Everyone in town knew that name. Daniel Carter was a man who died 5 years earlier on that exact highway. A truck hit his car near the gas station. I thought maybe it was just a coincidence. Do you have another card? I asked. The woman looked confused. Why? Because this card belongs to someone else. Her expression changed. No, she whispered. This is my husband's card. My stomach dropped. Your husband? She nodded. He always pays here. I looked at the security monitor. The camera showed me standing behind the counter. It showed the card sitting on the table, but the woman wasn't there. I looked back at her. She was still standing in front of me, but the monitor showed empty space. My hand started shaking. Ma'am, she suddenly looked toward the door. He's waiting for me. I followed her eyes. The store door opened by itself. Cold air rushed inside. The woman walked. Outside, I didn't follow. I watched the cameras. The woman walked toward pump number 4. Then she disappeared. Not walked away. Not left the property. She simply vanished. The next morning, I told my manager everything. He didn't look surprised. He just sighed. You saw her? I asked. Who was she? He looked at the old newspaper hanging behind the office desk. The headline said, Local woman dies 5 years after husband in highway ACC D&T. Picture showed the same woman, the same face, the same eyes. The newspaper date was 3 years old. My manager explained that after Daniel died, his wife couldn't handle the loss. She used to visit the gas station every night because it was the last place her husband stopped before the accident. One night, she disappeared near pump number 4. Nobody found her. People believed she walked into the forest and something happened, but nobody knew the truth. The strangest part? The card she left on my counter was never found. Story 2. The man behind. The storage room door, my second story, happened when I worked at a different gas station. This one was much older. The building had been there since the 1970s. The owner told me there was one room I should never enter, the storage room behind. The cashier area. I asked why. He said, because the door doesn't always open to the same place. I laughed. I thought he was messing with me. The storage room was just a normal room, right? Shelves, boxes, cleaning supplies. Nothing scary, at least that's what I thought. One night around 1:45 a.m., I heard knocking. 3 slow knocks coming from the storage room. I looked up. I was alone. I checked the camera. Nothing. I walked closer. Knock. Again. I called my manager. Someone is inside the storage room. He became silent. Then he said, don't open it. I thought he was joking. What? Listen carefully. Do not open that door. I looked at the door. The handle slowly moved. Someone was trying to open it from inside. I stepped back. My manager continued. That room has been locked for years. My heart started beating faster. Then who is inside? He didn't answer. The knocking stopped. For almost 10 minutes, nothing happened. Then the door opened. Slightly, a dark space appeared. Not the storage room. Something else. I could see an old gas station. A different one. The lights were yellow. The shelves looked old. And behind the counter stood a man. He was staring at me. The strange thing was, he looked exactly like me. Same clothes, same face. Same everything. He raised his hand like he was warning me. Then the door slammed shut. I ran outside. I stayed in my car until sunrise. The next day, my manager came. He unlocked the door. Behind it was just a normal storage room. But on the wall was something new. A photograph. It showed the gas station from decades ago. The employee standing behind the counter was me. My manager looked at it and whispered, that's impossible. The picture was dated 1978. Story 3. The customer who never left. My final story happened to a friend of mine named Mark. He worked overnight at a gas station near a highway exit. Mark was the kind of person who didn't believe in ghosts, he always said. People see ghosts because they want to, until one night changed his mind. At around 3:20 a.m., a black car pulled into the station. A man got out. He wore an old-fashioned suit, not a modern suit. Something from decades ago. Man entered the store. "Coffee," he said. Mark gave him a cup. The man paid with cash. Then he sat in the corner. Mark noticed something strange. Man never drank the coffee. He just stared at the wall. After 30 minutes, Mark asked, "Everything okay?" The man looked up. "Do you know what happened here?" Mark shrugged. "No." The man smiled. "Good." Then he stood up and walked outside. Mark watched him leave. The car drove away. A few minutes later, another customer entered. An old truck driver. He looked around. Then he asked, "Did someone just leave?" Mark said, "Yeah, a man in a suit." The truck driver's face changed. "What man?" Mark described him. The truck driver became pale. "That's impossible." "Why?" The driver pointed toward the wall. There was an old framed newspaper article. The headline, "Businessman Dies Inside Gas Station." After heart attack. The picture showed the same man. Same suit. Same face. The death date was 20 years earlier. Mark checked the security footage. The camera showed him making coffee. It showed him talking to nobody. It showed an empty chair. The man was never there, but the coffee cup was still on the table, and inside the cup, there was still steam rising. After that night, Mark quit his job. He never worked another night shift again. And the gas station? It closed 2 years later. The new owners said customers complained about seeing a man sitting in the corner, waiting for someone. Nobody knows who he was waiting for, but employees say that every night at exactly 3:20 a.m., the black car still arrives.